I'm joined by Sydney Authier of the Ryerson women's hockey team, and today we're just going to be talking a little bit about mental health. Sydney, thank you so much for coming on the radio show today.
Thank you for having me.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts on the women's team this year. I was looking at some of your stats before, and there's something to be proud of. So how did your overall season go?
For the team, we had a great season, one of the best seasons we've had in program history. They actually said it was a historical season for us, surpassing points, finishing the highest we've ever finished, and winning our first ever playoff game, which was huge.
Awesome.
Overall, it was a great season. We couldn't ask for anything more.
Great to hear. And moving on to next year, you're feeling confident about the team?
Yeah, the team looks good. We have some good incoming recruits, and the program's only getting better each year, so I'm excited.
Good to hear. So congrats on the season, and also congratulations on your annual Do It For Daron game that you had in January. And it's the fourth year that you've had this event?
Yeah.
Fourth year. So if you could just talk a little bit about what exactly Do It For Daron is and how it came to Ryerson.
Yeah, so Do It For Daron is an organization based on youth mental health. Daron was a young girl who played in the Ottawa organization and the Ottawa Center. Her dad actually coached the Ottawa Senators as an assistant coach, and she committed suicide a few years back. So her parents kind of her parents and friends and family and everything started the organization called Do It For Daron. It's something that's blown up in the women's hockey world. You'll see it everywhere. Purple Hearts are everywhere on women's helmets and stuff like that. So it's something that we took on as a team to fundraise for every year, just because we obviously support mental health and think it's a good conversation to have.
You mentioned it was started in Ottawa, and now it's come down to the Toronto area. How do you feel Toronto has embraced the Do It For Daron organization?
Yeah, I think all the Toronto teams have done a really great job, and it's even spread. It's all over Canada. Like, it's spread farther than just Toronto. Like, I know I'm near Windsor. It's spread that way. It's spread across all the provinces. It's just something that has completely taken over Canada, in a sense.
Wow, that's amazing. And so, as I mentioned, you had your annual Do It For Daron game. How did that go this season? And over your over your time at Ryerson, how have you seen that game increase in and amongst the Ryerson students, the knowledge of students have of that game, and where do you see that going over the next couple of years?
Well, I'm in my third year, so I wasn't around the first year they did it, but it's only grown every year. From my second year to now watching it in my third year, we've grown the way that we approach it. Our fundraising only gets better every year. I don't even remember the score of the game. It doesn't matter. I think we all took, we used purple tape, purple laces during the game as support. We give the other team all that stuff too. We took a picture together. And then last year we actually had Taylor Winnick, Daniel Winnick's wife, when he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. She came and spoke to our team and friends and family about her impact with mental health. So it's stuff like that where it's just even getting the word out to us, and somebody who is in a spotlight like that can, impact us as well. We also at the game always have tables set up with counseling services, where to get help, youth helpline, like stuff like that, where they're there providing services. So friends, family, people who are from out of town, any fans have access to all that, and it's just really, we're educating the fan base.
Why do you feel that mental health is so important amongst athletes, and why have you chosen that as your focus for your hockey team?
I think mental health is something that often gets overlooked when it comes to athletes. Everybody looks at their physical health, right? It's always like they're out with a lower body injury, they're out with an upper body injury, and you have so much pressure on you, and there's so much pressure to perform, and you get in your own head a lot. And that's a lot of the side, that's the side that a lot of people don't see of an athlete. And it can get to you. Like, at the end of the day, we're all still university students, right? We're still adults. We still have struggles, even though we are athletes. There's more than just our physical health. And I think a lot of times, because you can't see it, it gets overlooked by coaches, staff, teammates. And just over my time at Ryerson, and even before I came to Ryerson, I have a lot of friends who have struggled with mental health. I've personally struggled with mental health. So it's something that we hold close to our hearts. And just because we've been doing it for so many years now, it's something that we know is important and something we really latch on to.
You mentioned that you've had your own mental health issues. How difficult is it to overcome those issues? And you've probably seen it in yourself and some of your teammates and people you've played with over the years.
Yeah, it's not easy. There's a lot going on in your head, and then you're expected to be at practice every day, and you're expected to attend class every day, and you have to do assignments, and you're going on the road for 2 days to North Bay, and there's just a lot coming at you, and it's just like to take the time and sit down and think like, okay, I'm actually not okay. I need to reach out to someone. A lot of times it can be masked with all the pressure and the busyness and the rush of life. That sometimes it gets lost, but when you do have those quiet moments, it's like, okay, I'm not okay. And personally, this last season was tough. I struggled with a lot of injuries, went from being the starter to no longer the starter. So there was a lot of components that really just played a big part in this year being a struggle. Thankfully, Ryerson offers great counseling program to the athletics. We have athletics as their own personal counselor. Colleen, she is absolutely amazing. Busiest girl on campus, I think. She's incredible, but she's someone who really helped me personally through the struggle of this season, and I know she's helped a ton of my teammates and everyone in athletics.
Do you think Ryerson does more than a lot of other universities when it comes to mental health around whether it be athletics or academics? How would you say Ryerson compares to other universities?
The Ryerson program, I think, is absolutely amazing. I know from the athletics side, they definitely go above and beyond compared to other schools. I obviously have friends that play all around the OUA and the AUS, all around U Sports. And just the way when I talk about the academic services they provide to us, the counseling services they provide to us, everything, it's just they set us up to succeed here, and you're never left behind, and I think Ryerson's above and beyond in that aspect compared to other schools.
Have you seen the issue improve over the years playing hockey, or has it plateaued, or maybe even gotten worse, in your opinion?
The issue of
mental
health. I think it's become more of a conversation. I don't know if you could say like it's gotten better, it's gotten worse. I just think there's been a lot more conversation around it now more than ever. I think just even society as a whole has really taken on to the whole mental health thing, and you see more articles and people openly talking about their anxiety or their depression, right? Like it's everywhere, and in sports it's obviously grown a lot. I don't know if it's gotten better, but people are definitely more open and more willing to have those conversations.
In your opinion, what would you say is the best way to combat this issue? Is it conversation, something else perhaps?
Everybody's different, but I know for a lot of people it is just having that conversation. For me personally, it's sitting down with Colleen once a week and, kind of just letting everything out. And even if there's nothing to really, it's like, oh, I had a good week. Sometimes it's just nice to have somebody to just vent to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't always want to go to your friends, just because sometimes maybe they won't understand, or maybe they're the cause of the issue. So it's just nice to have that third party kind of just to throw all your thoughts at. A lot of people do other things like music or even playing sports is something that people can count on. But for me personally, it's just talking about everything and having that conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So when you look at other Ryerson teams, have they also attempted to tackle the issue of mental health, to your knowledge?
Yeah, I think each team kind of has their own initiative. There definitely are teams who have put a focus on mental health, and there are teams who have put a focus on other things. Not saying that mental health isn't a focus on their team.
Yeah.
It's just as our volunteer criteria is laid out, we have to do one team initiative. Everyone kind of picks something different. But I know mental health is a big conversation around Ryerson athletics as a whole.
Yeah, just from my own experience, I feel like ever since I came here, mental health has been a huge focus, and I haven't necessarily struggled with it, but I know people who have, and I just find that every day I'm learning something new about it.
Yeah, for sure. There's always new knowledge brought up. There's always new conversations being had about it. And like I said, I think it's more open to talk about now more than ever.
I 100% agree with that. Sydney, I want to thank you so much for coming and talking to me today about mental health. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the season next year. I hope everything works out for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Awesome.